Today I'm going to analyse Cristiano Ronaldo's tactical evolution from skinny teenager at Sporting Lisbon to one of the best players ever at Real Madrid. Ronaldo's career began in the Portuguese league in the 2002-2003 season as a 17-year-old. Ronaldo made 25 appearances for Sporting Lisbon, starting only 11 games. He scored 3 goals. He was a tricky winger with blistering speed and quick feet, with the ability to beat defenders one-on-one. It was his iconic exhibition against Manchester United in a friendly when United's senior players convinced manager Sir Alex Ferguson to sign Ronaldo. In that friendly, Sporting Lisbon won 3-0. Ronaldo played wide on the left wing. He had United's fullbacks on toast the whole game. His pace was electric, like a cheetah with the ball at his feet throughout the match. He consistently asked questions of United's defenders. The rest is history, and United signed Ronaldo. When he arrived, he was much the same player, a slender teenager whose game was built around speed and skill. He made his debut against Bolton in 2003, where United won 4-0 with Ronaldo dominating. His performance that day provided indication of what was to come in the first few years of his United career. Stepovers, dribbles, flicks, crosses. A pure winger. This version of Ronaldo was not the prolific goal scorer we know today. He was direct and tricky, a dribbler. He received the ball and put his head down and ran at players. He would often over-dribble, frustrating his teammates, failing to shoot or find the open man. In his first 2 seasons at Man United, Ronaldo scored just 15 goals in 90 matches. He was far more of a wide player than a forward, attempting around 10 dribbles per match in his first 3 campaigns in Manchester. The talent as a winger was obvious. Becoming one of the most prolific marksmen of his era was not. It was the 2006-2007 season when Ronaldo first blossomed as the hybrid winger goal-scorer extraordinaire we know today. With Ruud van Nistelrooy sold, Ferguson handed the keys of the attack to Ronaldo. With a nudge from his teammates and coach, Ronaldo refined his game, with fewer stepovers, less over-dribbling, and more shots, more efficiency, more goals. It was during this period as the main attacking force that Ronaldo started to explore his aerial ability, scoring 8 goals in the league with his head over 3 seasons. In latter years, Ronaldo's long-range shooting and free kicks have declined, but during this spell he scored 14 free kicks for United. His most iconic was a set piece against Portsmouth in January 2008, where he scored this humdinger, striking the ball like a rocket into the back of the net. Positionally, Ronaldo went from traditional winger to wide forward, cutting inside. United blew teams away on the counter-attack, with Ronaldo running havoc as a multi-positional scorer. He bulked up, adding muscle to his frame and becoming more of a powerhouse player. Rather than creating goals for himself with his skillful dribbling and close ball control, he was now finishing moves created by others because the opposition defender simply could not live with his speed and power. With space to run into off the ball, Ronaldo was unstoppable. During this period, he scored a header against Roma, leaping into the air after a full sprint into the box. It was a goal that Gary Neville described the best he had ever seen. For Man United, Ronaldo usually started on the right-hand side of the attack, but he would play in all 3 attacking positions during these years, creating mismatches and bullying defenders. Gary Neville summarised his impact best, saying, "Ronaldo is a bully. He bullies the weakest defender. He just decided his own position, which was based on where the space was and who was the weakest link. We had a player who was beyond the level of talent I had ever seen. He would go on to win us game after game." It was in Madrid, fueled by a certain Argentine at Barcelona, where Ronaldo reached the peak of his powers, operating as a left-sided wide forward with the freedom to come inside and be a number 9. Through his age 25 to 30 seasons, Ronaldo scored 50 plus goals per season in the league as a complete offensive player. The best word I could use to describe this version of Ronaldo is explosive. He was devastating in transition and on the counter-attack, running in behind defenders off the ball. He could score every type of goal. Poacher goals inside the 6-yard box, shots from outside the box, with his head, volleys, free kicks, penalties. There was no stopping him. He demoralised world-class teams. Between 2011 and 2014, he averaged 30 non-penalty goals per season as an unstoppable force of nature. Ronaldo made his name as a dribbler, but at Madrid he cemented his legacy as a goalscorer. His attempted dribbles in Madrid declined from 6.26 per game in the 2009-2010 season to 3.93 in 2012-2013. Ronaldo scored a mind-boggling 252 goals in 246 games in his first 5 seasons at Madrid. But it was from 2013 to 2018 where Ronaldo won 4 UEFA Champions League titles out of a possible 5, finishing top scorer in each Champions League campaign, that he became the ultimate clutch killer. He would still start on the left wing positionally, but often drift inside to a centre forward role, with Karim Benzema dropping deep as a second striker/playmaker, while Gareth Bale stayed wide on the right wing to create space for Ronaldo to roam into. As he aged at Madrid, Ronaldo became a master of getting on the end of moves in the penalty box. Less goals from outside the box, more clinical, devastating finishes inside the box. He became the ultimate big game player, putting in iconic performance after iconic performance, especially in the Champions League where he raised his game every season, a bit like LeBron James in the NBA playoffs. There were some iconic games: Wolfsburg, 2016 Champions League, second leg quarter final. Madrid had lost the first leg 2-0 in a shock defeat. Ronaldo stepped up and scored a hat-trick. Madrid went on to win their second Champions League in 3 years, en route to their historical three-peat. The following year against Bayern Munich, again in the quarter-final in the second leg, another hat-trick in a knockout game, 2 goals coming in the 105th and 110th minute to turn around a 2-1 defeat in the first leg into a 4-2 win for Madrid. Ronaldo at this stage of his career was inevitable. A big European game and you knew he'd perform. Oh, and he also scored this pretty iconic goal that Ronaldo himself has stated is the best of his career. By this stage, Ronaldo was exiting his prime. The running power, the step overs, the assists, the dribbles, many of the key parts of old Ronaldo's game had faded away. But he was still a world-class goalscorer. He moved to Juventus for an Italian club record €112 million in 2018. By now, positionally he was a pure 9, a goalscorer first, second and third. Although he would still sometimes start as a wide forward for Juventus to use his razor-sharp movement in the final third, on the pitch he continued doing what he's done better than any player in history: score goals. He scored 81 goals in 97 appearances in 3 seasons in Italy. It was at Juventus he scored maybe his most iconic header, against Sampdoria, leaping in the air and hanging there like prime Michael Jordan, sending an unstoppable header into the back of the net. He scored a similar goal a few months later against Roma. These ridiculous aerial finishes have become somewhat trademark for Ronaldo. His ability to time his runs into the box perfectly and combine his speed, athleticism and jumping ability is unprecedented. He is one of the game's best ever with his head. The move to Manchester United in 2021 was hailed as the King's return, and after his 2-goal debut against Newcastle, there was hope Ronaldo could lead United back to their glory days. He scored 18 goals in the league in his first season, before it all went wrong, with the icing on the cake being an ill-advised Piers Morgan interview just before the 2022 World Cup. Football's evolution in the past decade has meant that just scoring goals is no longer good enough for the top European sides. Forwards need to be multifaceted, they need to press, contribute off the ball as much as on it. Ronaldo is now 38 years old. Even at his peak, he was not a player who contributed defensively. For over a decade that didn't matter. He was a match winner, he was clutch, and he was given the freedom to roam. In Europe, the pressing and possession evolution has left him behind. But Ronaldo will always score goals. He could probably continue scoring goals until he was 50. And you know what? Maybe he will. He is, after all, football's ultimate goal scorer.